Hey guys, thanks so much for coming in for a video today. I'm sitting here in my bedroom. What did my husband call it? I think he called it the warehouse. And that's definitely what it is. But we're getting better at it. I just cleaned off this glass table, guys. Remember I showed you this? I think it's been over a year. And it was piled with stuff because I wanted to do some journal type thing. And I started it finally. Since then, all I did was pull out everything. Because I want to do individual ones for my kids. I didn't save everything, and periodically I would go around and weed out things. Full composition books. I had college applications, and I decided to clear it out a little bit. And I'm going to make sort of a junk journal, not quite a scrapbooking thing because I don't have the time for it, and I don't want to have to do a timeline. I don't even remember what I wore yesterday. So I start with my eldest because I will probably see him next month. And I want to take it to him. So that's a bit more at ease in the room now that I cleared it off a little bit. And you know what? All this junk around me is my bread and butter. It really is. It's what started me selling. I've always been a collector, a hoarder. I've gone to thrift stores to buy. I've started with flea markets and garage sales. So it's always been my thing, and I love it. And to other people this may be like so claustrophobic, but to me it's home. It's comforting to see my let me show you what I got over here. My collection of anatomy dolls. I love them. I sell them. Actually, I have a bigger one right behind him, and I may shoot in front of him next time, but he's wearing a baseball hat, and I found him in front of the classroom of, you know, when we're moving into our new classrooms or moving out of our old classrooms, teachers kind of pull their things, and they have like a catch-all hallway, and that's where this little guy was. And so I'll probably give it to my daughter who'll be teaching math and science soon. But anyway, so that's it, guys. Let's get my Q&A from last week, which I asked you to do on the Q&A videos themselves, so that way I can find the questions, post them here in this video in the comment section. Corey Stern says, this is just a good tip I got from my younger sister. So inventive. I had a lot of bubble wrap I got from work, and she suggested using a cheap laundry hamper. Stuff your bubble wrap in there. It works like a charm. Takes little space, and it's all neat and tidy for your shopping needs. Get great and informative video as usual, Thelma. Happy hunting, Corey. Thank you so much, Miss Corey. I really appreciate that tip. We have a great recycling program here in our neighborhood. I don't mind just driving around or walking around. And when my daughter was in school, she sometimes walks, and she has actually taken to looking in the recycle bins as well, and she'll bring me boxes. She knows exactly the sizes I need at work. I make friends with the custodians immediately, and I ask them for anything they may have as well. So I do save a lot of money that way, and that's a great tip. Alexandra S says, Etsy is so slow. I'm giving it a rest for a while. I'll be listing closer to Christmas. I did better when working with the teams for promotions, but that was a lot of work. Indeed, I never did work with the teams and promotions. Now, what I did do, if I was put on a treasury, I would respond to that, and that was because, you know, I just think it's the gracious thing to do. But I don't actually go into teams or anything like that. I have found that Margaret says it works for her over at Texas Gal Treasures, and she's had a lot of success with it. But for me, Etsy has really picked up. I think just a matter of people liking your shop, people following you, really helps as well. So it's always a good time. Just sit there and like their shop as well, favorite some of their items, and they usually reciprocate, and that works as well on Poshmark. And she says, great video, Thelma. You have so much experience to share in a wonderful presentation style. I would like to post a question for Q&A, please. When sourcing children's and young adult reselling on eBay and Amazon, are there any particular authors that you might recommend, or any features about books that I should look for? Thanks so much for sharing. Okay, as far as books, I've done keep your eye out for my book hauls, where I do present not just the books that I'm keeping for whatever reason, but the books that I have scanned Seller app, and the ones that will bring me a good return. And I'm trying to stay away. I do still have some in stock that will only garner me a $10 profit, but I'm really trying to work up that margin to at least 20, because it is a time-consuming prospect. I don't really look for an author per se. The reading lists and all of that, you'll sell them, but you won't make more than $5 if you see something that's on the latest reading list, you know, your Mango Street or anything like that. What else is on there? Of course, all the classics, all the great literature. You won't make very much profit on those. What you do make profit on, humanity subjects, sort of psychology, abnormal psychology, especially cognitive behavioral therapy books, religious books, There's some golden books out there that are not so common. With young readers, Harry Potter does not do well. That's going for a penny right now. So don't fall into that. Maybe some newer authors. Stay abreast of the latest authors. There's a lot of book clubs that you can belong to for teachers or for avid readers that will let you in on the latest. We learned about Hunger Games through a friend before it became this big popular thing. You know, we learned about it and people were seeking it. And so that kind of thing, when you can get a jump on that, anything on animal rights or things of that nature, those are really popular right now. And I think they do pretty well. Always look for nonfiction books. Those are the best sellers. They really are. All right, then I got a question from Caffeine Addict. And Caffeine Addict says, I have a question for you. Did you push your bookcase around? Okay, she was talking about the little plastic toy that was behind me in the other video. The little plastic toy fell around 12-ish part of the video. It's back up facing the shorter toy again. Are they dueling behind you? No, that was my little Harry Potter collection. I think it's for sale on Amazon. I have sold quite a few toys for Harry Potter and stationery and color books and things on Amazon. That's another thing. Look for Harry Potter. Back to the book thing. Look for Harry Potter, but not in the storybooks, not in the books themselves, but in stationery and color books and stickers and all of that. That sells really well on Amazon. But no, they were not dueling. I was touching something and it fell, and then I fixed it. And then my camera stopped recording, and I'm so afraid it's going to do that. So if I start rushing, don't get upset. Okay, let me see now from Debbie Martin. You sell on Posh, Amazon, Etsy, and eBay. Is there any more you sell on? And how many items total for all those selling avenues do you have listed? Do you list a certain amount on each one every day? Thanks. Well, lately I've been doing a lot of good till cancel on eBay, and I've heard the pros and cons about that. I kind of listened to, I think it was Deborah on Pinching Pesos, who said she likes good till cancel because it'll be Googleized or whatever. So I'm listening to her right now, and I'm doing a lot of that, and my sales have skyrocketed on eBay. I will say that. Anyway, I do have about 120 items right now on eBay. I have definitely upped my game there on listing, because I normally only had like 40 or 50, and I'm going ahead, and I still don't have a store, and my fees have not jumped that much. They really have not, with just listing extra and going ahead and paying those 30 cents for any additional after the 50 free or whatever it is. On Etsy, I believe I have about 120, 115 items. Kari, I think I have about 15. On what's the other one? Amazon, I have over 1,000 items on Amazon, mostly books, but also toys, collectibles, patterns, cups, mugs, all kinds of stuff is on Amazon, over 1,000. And again, you don't have to renew those either, so I love that. But I do go around periodically keeping up with the price, lowering it a bit if others have lowered theirs. You know how they let you know that you want to match the low price. I do that, not on everything, but on a lot of things. And what else did you ask? Oh, I have listed on OfferUp. I have not sold anything. I have some furniture listed on there that has not sold, and I have bought some things on there. It's a great app. I love it. Great venue there. What else? Amazon, Etsy, eBay, and that's about it. And I don't list every day. I try to, because I've also been listening to some other people. We learn from each other, guys. That's what I love about this community. I've been listening to some other people who talk about taking pictures on a certain day, doing nothing but taking pictures, and then throughout the week listing. And that's what I've been doing. I list directly from my phone. I love it. I no longer have to go on my computer to do anything except to add the refund policy. I have to go on there to do that. That's the only trouble with that. But I do my listing directly from the phone. I take all my pictures one day or 1 or 2 days. Then I'll have a collection of those pictures, and I will list for a good 2-3 hours. Quick on the phone, especially if you have the good pictures and you don't have to do the measuring. I use a ruler on the jewelry. I use a ruler on purses, and take a picture with the ruler, and that way I have that information right there with me. Or if it doesn't require it, like eBay requires that you put measurements of the bags and everything like that, but the other apps don't, so I just let it fly like that, and it works. So that's what I do there. And of course, if I'm in line at the post office, if I'm in line waiting for my kid to get out of school,
or whatever. My phone is in my hands and I'm listing or tweaking.
Definitely, that's what I do there. But I don't say, oh, I'm going to do this in one day. I'm going to list so and so. No, it's. My mother told me the other day, because she was with me for a few weeks, and she told me the other day, you work harder at this job than you do at your other job. I was like, Mom, don't say that. But I am on vacation, so I'm not working too hard. But she got to see firsthand how this job is not easy. It is definitely a part-time, full-time position. I mean, you just constantly taking pictures, shipping, wrapping, getting ready to ship, going to the post office. That's what it is. So yeah, she saw that firsthand. Next one. Nice. I appreciate all your nice comments, guys. Those who didn't leave questions, thank you so much for the nice comments. And then Bobby Rock says, Thelma, thanks for sharing. I did Etsy for my art for 1 year. I finally sold one painting. It sold on a TV show, so that was rewarding. I have done eBay now for over 3 years and sold three other pieces that I made great tips. Well, thank you so much, and congratulations on your art, on selling your art. Isn't it thrilling when you sell to someone famous, or to, as in your case, to a TV show? I actually sold a handbag to Delta Burke. I think I've mentioned this in one of my videos. You know, the girl from, what was that show from the 80s? I don't even remember the name of the show because I really wasn't a fan of the show. But I really was a fan of her. She was really sweet. Or I loved her character when I did see it. But anyway, I did sell a vintage handbag to her. It was great. Thank you so much, Bobby, for that information about my daughter Anna and her jewelry. She does make wonderful jewelry. And, you know, she's sold a lot of jewelry. I mentioned that she had, in my last one about my daughter not being happy with the sales she was making on Etsy because she just got a lot of likes. Well, she didn't make any sales, but then she started selling on Depop and she made some sales there. And but she sold clothes there. But she has actually sold tons, and she's been like this for a while. Maybe she gets it from me. I don't know, because I do craft, but I've never really sold my crafts. But she has sold everything from, remember when people were making those duct tape wallets and things? She was making those flower pens. She was making them and selling them until somebody said she couldn't do it at school anymore, but she was making some bucks at school. And then she has also sold her jewelry, and she makes dream catchers as well. So she was doing really well. Thanks for that advice. Vita Denny, you're welcome. I'm so happy to answer your questions. Okay, and then from Linda Dunn. Linda Dunn says, love listening to you when you started on eBay. How much money did you initially invest? Thinking about starting, but I'm reluctant because I'm retired and can't afford to lose a lot of money. Hope that makes sense. Keep the videos coming. Absolutely, Miss Dunn. Thank you so much. I don't think you should invest anything to begin with. I think you should look in your closet, look in your jewelry box, look in your junk drawer, and see what you can sell. And eBay will not charge you for the first couple of listings. I think it's $50 free to start. And then whatever you make, of course, they're going to take a percentage of that, and your PayPal is going to take a percentage of that too. But just look around. I'm sure you have a plethora of collectibles in your house. And start with that. And then if you start seeing some good money come back, some good profit, then take that little bit and go reinvest it. Go to a garage sale, go to the thrift stores, go to the days that they have, you know, either the certain tags on sale the whole day. The other day I stumbled into Epic and the entire store was 50% off, and I went in there with my little donation because I get 25% off when I bring a donation. God knows I always have a donation because I'm always cleaning up in here. But so there's always some kind of sale going on, guys. So head in there, get yourself some stuff that's half price or 25-30% off, and start listing that. If you have a smartphone, you've already invested in what you need. You don't, when I first started a few years ago, almost 10 years ago, I had to use a camera, and a couple of years later I invested in a digital camera because I sold a lot of jewelry and I really wanted some sharp close-up pictures of that jewelry. Nowadays a smartphone takes amazing pictures. It does everything for you. You can do your search on there, you can do your listing on there, you can do your buying, you can do your transferring. It's amazing. So that would be the only thing I would say. If you do not have a smartphone, you can really, really benefit from having it. Guys, that's the end of my Q&A. I really appreciate you coming in. Please post any more questions that you have here on this video in the comments down below. And I will also be doing a haul very shortly. I have done a lot of thrifting these last couple of weeks, so I'm so excited to show you my new haul. All right, thanks again. Come around and talk it over. So many things that